Maverick. Physical literacy is not a state. It is an attitude or a disposition. It is a process, a lifetime process, not an end result that can be charted on a graph. It is about being aware and in tune with your body every minute, rather than being able to do specific acts that can be measured against a universal standard. There is a huge difference between obedience and self-discipline. The easiest way to explain this is with an example from the Indian freedom movement. The salt satyagraha or civil disobedience was an act of refusal by Indians to be obedient to their external masters. On the other hand, ahimsa or non-violence, which is the foundation of the Indian freedom movement, requires enormous self-discipline. Just imagine, for every individual to have had so much self-discipline so as to not raise their hands to retaliate in the face of getting physically beaten. Now that is true power. That is the difference between obedience to an external enforcer and self-discipline, which is an internal disposition. In the context of physical literacy, obedience in the form of adhering to an external regiment, most likely enforced by an adult, is counterproductive. Instilling discipline, that is, children choosing to be active even in the face of enormous distractions, that is the disposition we hope to achieve. We want our children to be active because they want to be active, not because they have to be active. The motivation for obedience is a carrot and stick approach. Follow the instructions to gain the reward or avoid the punishment. The desire for self-discipline, on the other hand, is value-based. We teach them to do it because they believe in it. They believe it's the right thing to do. That is why mere motivation doesn't do the trick. It remains limited to the doing domain, working only on the action or behavior for a particular period in time. Cultivating the desire based on values works on the being domain, reinforcing how we feel and think, instilling self-discipline. In short, obedience is an externally enforced regiment, like the one teachers and coaches generally use because they have a large number of wards to take care of. They have a target in terms of learning outcomes to achieve, and they need to look at the group as a whole. On the other hand, self-discipline is internally cultivated. It is individualistic. It is a direct result of the choices that we execute. It is an individual's ability to exercise control over their behavior in spite of temptations based on their value system. So how do we inspire children to choose to be disciplined? Have you seen, when they need to do things that they enjoy, they don't need external instructions. They are up at dawn for their favorite outing when enormous efforts needs to be employed to get them awake for normal school day. They don't need reminders to do what they like doing, what they enjoy doing. They don't need to be reminded to be supportive to those who they naturally empathize with. In other words, they don't need external instructions to obey when their feelings are involved. And another aspect of teaching children choices is elaborating on the consequences. Let us explore how to engage the feelings and expand on the consequences in the next segment. Maverick.